The recent crisis surrounding British steel, specifically the potential closure of the Scunthorpe plant, has ignited a fierce political debate, with fingers pointed squarely at the government's net zero policies. The narrative, largely propagated by right-wing media outlets and opposition MPs, paints a picture of a steel industry crippled by the pursuit of clean energy, with the cancellation of a proposed Cumbrian coal mine cited as a prime culprit. But is this a fair and accurate representation of the situation? A closer examination reveals a far more nuanced reality, one where the complexities of energy markets and industrial competitiveness are far from neatly packaged into a simplistic blame game. The narrative, championed by figures like Andrew Neil, casts the net zero agenda as the primary antagonist in the steel industry's decline, blaming Energy Secretary Ed Miliband and his commitment to decarbonization for escalating energy costs and rendering British steel uncompetitive. This portrayal, amplified by the right-wing press, calls for Miliband's resignation and underscores a perceived betrayal of British steelworkers. Headlines scream of net zero nonsense and a shameful failure by the political class. The cancellation of the Cumbrian coal mine is presented as the final blow, a missed opportunity to secure a domestic supply of coking coal, a crucial ingredient in steel production. Tory MP Graham Stewart echoed this sentiment, lamenting the import of coking coal from Japan while a greener, domestic alternative lay dormant. Richard Tice, deputy leader of Reform UK, further emphasized the government's alleged refusal to utilize British coal, portraying it as a missed opportunity for jobs and economic growth. However, this simplified narrative ignores crucial complexities. Experts contest the direct causal link between net zero policies and the current crisis. Professor Rob Gross, director of the UK Energy Research Centre, firmly refutes the notion that net zero is the primary culprit. He argues instead that a transition to clean energy can actually benefit the steel industry in the long term. This perspective challenges the dominant narrative, suggesting a more proactive and innovative approach to the industry's future. A crucial point often overlooked is the high sulfur content of the proposed Cumbrian coal. British Steel itself acknowledged its inability to utilize this coal directly due to its high sulfur content, rendering it unsuitable for their production processes. Furthermore, the mine operators themselves admitted that 85% of the coal's output was destined for export, undermining the claim that it would be a silver bullet solution for the domestic steel industry. This reveals a significant disconnect between the rhetoric surrounding the mine and the practical realities of steel production. The Labour Party counters the accusations by highlighting a report from UK Steel, which points to wholesale electricity costs as the main driver of price disparities. They emphasize that the UK's heavy reliance on natural gas for power generation, rather than net zero policies, is the primary culprit. Gas prices dictate energy costs 98% of the time in the UK, compared to an EU average of around 40%, significantly impacting steel production costs. While rising energy prices undoubtedly play a role, the narrative overlooks other crucial factors, such as the increasing cost of iron ore and coking coal, impacting overall production costs. The argument extends beyond immediate energy costs. The steel industry's long-standing plea for strategic direction is finally being addressed through government commitments to clean manufacturing and supply chains, leading to low-carbon steel production. This long-term vision, focusing on sustainable and competitive steel production, offers a path towards long-term viability that goes beyond the short-term fluctuations in energy prices. This commitment to low-carbon steel production, while potentially challenging in the short term, represents a crucial shift toward future-proofing the industry and ensuring its long-term competitiveness in a global market increasingly focused on sustainability. The current crisis highlights the need for a more comprehensive approach, one that addresses not only immediate energy costs, but also longer-term strategic planning and the integration of sustainable practices into the steel manufacturing process. The focus should not solely be on reverting to outdated and environmentally damaging practices, but rather on embracing innovation and securing a sustainable future for the British steel industry. The path forward requires a balance between immediate economic needs and a long-term vision for a sustainable and competitive industry. This requires collaboration, innovation, and a recognition of the complex interplay between energy policy, industrial competitiveness, and environmental sustainability. The simplistic narratives surrounding the recent crisis fail to capture this complexity, overshadowing the potential for a cleaner, more resilient, and sustainable future for British steel.